Hello everyone, I'm Chase, a Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and this is our 2020 Dual Sport Adventure Boot Buyer's Guide. All right everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we want to share with you our top picks for Dual Sport Adventure boots for 2020. Now it's a tough decision you have to make because there's a lot of great options out there, but there's also a lot of things that you need to consider when you are shopping for a pair of boots. When it comes to adventure dual sport riding, you know, for us, we could be on the asphalt cruising down the highway 1 second, the next thing you know it, we're on a dirt road, and a lot of times we actually find ourselves in some pretty rugged, nasty terrain. So you got to think of what style of riding you're going to be doing. Do you spend a lot of time off the bike walking around? What type of level and protection are you looking for? Do you need a full height boot, maybe a low boot? A lot of different questions you can ask. So today we want to help steer you in the right direction. So I've got 5 great boots on the table. We're going to go through, talk about each one, why we like these boots, why they're in our buyer's guide. But remember, if you see one that you like, you want to learn more about these, watch the product spotlights where I talk about them in full detail. If you have a boot that you see on the table, let us know, give us your feedback, comment below what you like, what you don't like about it. And if you have a boot that you don't see up here, same thing. Let us know what boot you have, what you like about it, and why you think it should be in our buyer's guide. But without further ado, let's get started. All right, so to get started, the first boot in the lineup, we have the Avantour Evo coming from Falco. So the price point on these, you're right around $250. Fitment on these, true to size, very comfortable right out of the box. Nice wide toe box, but remember, any boot that we sell at Rocky Mountain is an apparel item, so we have our fit guarantee. If you buy any boot, if you're not happy with the size of the fit, send it back in brand new unused condition, and we'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange. So here's what we like about the Avantour Evo. So you can see you've got nice full grain leather, has a great look to it. You'll notice too that on the lateral and the medial side you have a hinge system, so it gives good flexibility right out of the box, but also this is going to offer great impact protection. You have to remember that most ankle injuries when it comes to dual sport adventure riding is when you do have a crash and the bike lands on top of the rider. So I like that you have that impact protection there. Nice big shin plate. You have the High-Tex waterproof membrane that comes about halfway up the shin plate. You notice with the sole, a little bit different than the previous Avantour. You're now going to have a bonded sole lug design, so it's going to help offer grip when you're off the bike. But here's what I like about the Avantour Evo. For riders that like to do maybe a little bit more aggressive dual sport riding, you're standing up on the bike, you're working hard, you're shifting through gears, you notice that with this boot, nice low profile toe box. I think that's really going to help when it comes to shifting in those situations. Also, another great added safety feature that you have is when you look at the heel cup here, you can see this portion that's raised up. There's actually D3O molecular armor in there, so they're offering some shock absorption on the heel cup as well. Now, one thing I do want to point out with the Avantour Evo, the buckle design, it's not my favorite. I think they're just a little bit dated. Is a deal breaker? No, but I don't think they're as good as the other buckles in the lineup. And also you notice that this boot, when you compare it to the others in the lineup, it is just a little bit shorter than the others that we have up here today. So just a couple things to consider, but overall, rock solid. Again, I think this really caters well to that rider that spends a little bit more time doing some more aggressive off-road riding, but also likes to hit the asphalt as well. All right, so boot number 2, we have the Adventure from Forma. Now the Forma Adventure, year after year, has been one of our best selling. If you are looking for a boot that is going to be extremely comfortable, little to zero braking time right out of the box, and you spend a lot of time on your bike, but when you're not on the bike, maybe spend a lot more time walking, this I think would be a really good boot that caters to those type of riders. You'll also notice it is offered in a low version as well. That's going to be rider preference. If you don't feel like you need as much protection as a full height boot, then go with the low version. You also just save a little bit of money as well. Price point on these for the full height version, you're gonna be about $280. But looking at the Forma Adventure, first thing I will point out, better buckle design with the Avantour Evo that we just showed you. Nice wide toe box, like I said, these are extremely comfortable right out of the box. But you'll notice though, when you look at the ankle, both the lateral and the medial side, you're not gonna have a pivot system or a hinge like with that Avantour Evo. You do have plastic inserts here underneath that leather to offer a little bit of protection, but in my opinion, not gonna offer as much impact protection as the Avantour, so just something to keep in mind. But here's where this boot really shines. When you look at the sole design, more of that hiking boot style tread design that you're going to want if you're off the bike walking around. That is something that I would definitely keep in mind when you are looking at the Forma Adventure. But overall, a couple colorways to choose from. Again, if you spend a lot of time on the bike but also you like to walk a little bit when you're off, I think the Adventure would be an awesome option. All right, third boot in the lineup. This is the Corozal from Alpinestars. Now with the Corozal, you bump up about $10 in price here, about $290. You can see 2 colorways available. They also do have a low version. And when you look at the Corozal, This is going to be very similar to the Forma Adventure we just showed you as far as what type of rider I think this boot will be catered towards. So ask yourself, if you thought the Forma Adventure would be a great option for you, the Corozal would also be another great choice. But there are some differences that you're going to want to consider. So looking at the Corozal, first thing I'll point out, buckle design is going to be a little bit different. It's the same buckle design they use on their off-road boots. I've used their off-road boots. It's a great buckle design. I think it works extremely well. You have the Drystar waterproof membrane, comes up about halfway up the shin plate here. But you look at it, the toe box, very similar as far as the width and the height as that Forma Adventure. Again, nice lug sole design, great traction for walking when you're off the bike. But here's one thing that I would want you to consider if you're choosing between the Corozal and the Forma Adventure. When you look at here, on the lateral side, you can notice they have their biomechanical hinge system. So this is going to offer good flexibility, but you'll notice too, you've got a little bit more hard plastic on this side than with the Forma Adventure. So you could say that you're going to get more impact protection here on the lateral side. And then when you look at the medial side, you are going to have this insert here underneath that. Again, a little bit more protection there as well. But overall, very comparable to the Forma Adventure. You do bump up just a little bit in price, but you got to ask yourself, do you want that biomechanical hinge system? All right, so next up we have the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex from Sidi. If you are looking for the premium option that Sidi has to offer, that's what you're getting here with the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex. Basically everything that you could possibly want in an adventure touring boot, that's what you're getting here with this. Now the price point on these, you're going to jump up. You're going to be just underneath the $500 mark, but again, you're thinking of that premium option that's out there available. But when you look at it, a couple of unique features about the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex. So something that Sidi does that you're not going to see in the other boots is they actually use microfiber in their construction. So microfiber is a synthetic leather, and the reason that they like it is they say it's lighter weight, but also over time it's not going to dry out, it's not going to crack like full grain leather would. So they say that actually helps increase the durability of the boot. A couple colorways available, but when you look at this, you're going to notice no rock left unturned. So you've got full Gore-Tex waterproof liner. Now, all the other waterproof liners that we've talked about today, I think they all work fantastic, but you know Gore-Tex has that reputation for being the best in the biz, guaranteed to keep you dry, guaranteed for life. So if you're looking for Gore-Tex, that's what you are getting in this boot. And also another feature that I like about the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex, if we undo these buckles, which I really like, I undo the Velcro at the top. Something unique to this boot as well, you will notice that that waterproof gaiter comes all the way up to the very top of the boot. You're not going to get that with any of the other boots that we're going to show you today. So you could say that this boot arguably has the best waterproofing of all the ones that we have shown you. Also, a couple features I really do like is the protection scheme that you're getting with this. When you look at the ankle, both on the lateral and the medial side, you have a pivot system. It's going to be hard plastic. So again, great flexibility, but also great impact protection. You also do have a hyperextension stop here on the back. You can see it's kind of molded into that heel cup area. So again, a lot of safety features built in. You also notice too on the back, which I do like, a little bit of added safety when you're on the road. You have a pop of reflectivity here as well. Now when you look at the sole design, you can see it's lugged, so great traction when you're off the bike. Also, I do want to point out, you notice with the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex, you got a little bit more of a narrow toe box. So for riders that have narrow feet, this could be a really good option. Also, I do want to point out this boot out of the box is going to be a little bit stiffer. Is it going to be as flexible as, say, the Forma Adventure or that Corozal from Alpinestars? No, but over time it will break in. Ultimately, a very comfortable boot, rock solid. Again, this is the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex from Sidi. All right, so last but not least, we have the Toucan from Alpinestars. Now the Toucan is going to be in that same echelon as the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex from Sidi that we just showed you. You're getting all the bells and whistles that Alpinestars could put into an adventure touring boot. Now, a couple differences that I do want to point out. Price point, you're going to be about the same. You're right around that $500 mark. But when you look at the Toucan from Alpinestars, wider toe box. So for riders that do have wider feet, definitely something to consider as far as the fitment goes. Also with the calf opening, this will have a larger calf opening than that Sidi that we showed you. I'm probably going to say it's got the largest calf opening of all the boots that we've shown you today. So a couple things as far as fitment that you do want to keep in mind. Also, you're going to have full grain leather construction. It is coated to add to the durability and the protection just to keep this boot looking good. Buckle design, same as the Corozal that we showed you. However, you notice that now you're getting aluminum with that buckle design versus just all plastic. Gore-Tex waterproof liner. However, with that Gore-Tex liner, it does not come up as high as the Adventure 2 Gore-Tex from Sidi. It's going to come up again about halfway up the shin plate. But here's a couple features I like about the Toucan. When you look at the lateral side here, they actually do have a hinge system, so that offers good flexibility. Also, this thing is very hard, so I think that's going to offer really good impact protection. When you look at the front here, they have what they call their flex blade system. This is the bite out of their off-road lineup, so this offers flexibility front and back right out of the box, but also this is going to offer some support for the ankle as well. When you look at the sole, again, pretty similar to that Adventure 2 Gore-Tex, where great for off the bike. However, just like with the Sidi, it is going to be a little bit stiffer out of the box, so you got to be patient, but over time these will break in. So really, I think it's just going to come down to fitment. Do you want the wider toe box, the larger opening at the top? Other than that, again, awesome premium option coming from Alpinestars. All right, everyone, thanks for watching our 2020 Dual Sport Adventure Boot Buyer's Guide. Remember, if you have questions or comments about any of these that we talked about, leave those below. Also, some of the best advice that I can give when it comes to boot shopping is on the product pages. You can ask questions there and you will get answers from customers who have bought and are using these boots. To pick up your next set, you can click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Remember, orders over $75 ship free. If you guys like this buyer's guides, we hit all the major categories for dual sport adventure riding, so make sure to subscribe. That will keep you up to date. Also, check out our adventure rides if you want to see where we like to go adventure riding, where we actually document our rides and share the routes with you so you can do them. Give those a watch. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.